Hi everyone. So I'm going to be doing a get ready with me along with a panning bingo update. I like to kind of showcase my panning bingo items while doing my get ready with me, just because I've already been incorporating them every day into my everyday face, and so I get to kind of just document how I've been doing it, and then just get to update you along the way. So I'm very excited. I have so many items, not so many, but like a good amount of items. Like I feel like I don't know if I'm just have a super strong start or something, but I'm really excited to show you what has been changing in this board. So if you don't know, Painting Bingo is a game that I created for myself. I was just thinking it's the year 2025. I want to do some sort of 25 and 2025, but I want to do it different, like frame it differently. And I was really just into like bingo at the time when I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, bingo has 25 squares. So let me choose 25 items that I want to use up this year, put them on a bingo board like this, and then as I get use up a product, mainly like work the packaging out of my collection, not necessarily like the product completely, just because of the way I franken items and do franken makeup and stuff like that. But basically, if I can mark off the things that I finished, once I get kind of a row or a bingo essentially, then I'll be able to purchase an item that is in one of these problem categories, mainly lips, eyeshadow, blush. Those are probably the main ones in here. Primer. And then, yeah, be able to kind of work that out when I complete the whole board, which I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I have been thinking about a special item, but I'm not set on it for sure because I still have a long ways to go. So I am going to be going through products that I am currently using, so it's not going to be in this order, although that's something I might be doing in another iteration of this, is actually ordering them by like category so that I can, more easily go through them. But right now I did this randomly, so I'm going to um just point at things as I use them and then kind of go through things that way. So let's get started. I have a bare face. First let me peel off the the pimple stickers I have because man, I am in that time of month and it feels, my skin is not very happy, and of course I'm a picker, so like I've been going at it. So I have 3 here. Okay, so those are off now. Ugh, that is gunky. All right, so let us prime. So I'm even more excited. I have a few, I think, live empties to show you, which is super awesome because the last time I also got a live empty. I think this time I have exciting ones too. I was like, is it gonna line up? Is it gonna line up? I think it is. So this is all I have left of my primer. Sorry, my lighting is not great today. I don't have my ring light, but yeah, it's just that little edge. So I think I'm gonna use it up with you guys. I might overuse, which I've talked about before in my channel about how like the very last bit I tend to overuse. So I was like, I might as well just overuse it on camera with you guys and justify it that way, that it was an exciting moment to film, and that is why I overused. But I'm very sad to see this go because it does have a very distinct Earl Grey smell. I don't know if that means that it's off, but it's very pleasant. It's starting to get a little stronger, to be honest. So I think it's time for it to go. So this is all I have left in terms of like with this application. This is how much I usually apply, just kind of in my T-zone. But I'm gonna go ahead and extend it out here today to quote to overuse it. And man, I am like not getting very much every time I scoop up. So all right, I think this might be the last scoop in here. Nope, a little bit more. Ugh. Okay, it's clean, you guys. It's clean. Maybe little scraps in there, but this is all I have left. So might be a little bit more than a typical user would use, but hey, in the name of finishing things, one last sniff of the Earl Grey. I think it is starting to get a little bit more intense than it used to be, so I think it's done. I think this time is done. While I'll miss it, I think it is also weird to have makeup smell like food. Like this isn't like fake Earl Grey, like very similar to Earl Grey. So I'm gonna mark that done. I'm actually gonna do the sticker live with you guys. So I have stickers here. Let me grab a pen. Today is the 22nd, I think. So that one is done. That's this one. So you can see here, I have three that are in a row here, and then yeah, I don't really have quite a plan on where I feel like that one is gonna be my first bingo, but I also have like an eyeshadow palette in that row. Although I do use the eyeshadow palette as like as part of my DIY loose powder, so I will go through a little bit sooner, but it's still I think going to take a few more months. So I don't know. I need to continue to re-strategize that. Okay, so the next thing I am using here is I'm actually starting to mix my foundation and concealer. I think whatever happened with the foundation, like it's settled to the bottom. So bottom as in like where it comes out, and so I am starting to mix my foundation with my sunscreen. I was thinking it's just winter, I don't need like the strongest sunscreen protection ever, but yeah, so I've just been mixing the two, and that's been a good way of still continuing to use my foundation without feeling like I'm over applying. So foundation is still in progress. I'm hoping I'll get through one of those mini bottles like every 2 to 2.5 months. I think I still have, from my calculations, I think I still have like 2.5 to 3 more mini bottles to go. So it's going to take me, I think, through at least the rest of the summer, which if I use it this way, I feel like it'll be just fine because I'm basically using it as like a tinted moisturizer. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to let that dry and put on my lips. I have been continuing to use my MAC World lip liner. I did just welcome a new one, but it is getting shorter. I can tell. Just I'm almost to the words that are starting to be printed here, and so that's a good sign. But yeah, this is like such a stiff formula. I only sharpen about once a week. Did I overline? Probably. I'm doing everything through the viewfinder. I should probably grab a palette that actually I can look into. Do I actually have, I might not actually even have a palette out right now that has a decent mirror. This one will work. It's just a powder. Just double check. Okay, so now let's go into the cream products. So I have been using, kind of orient myself here. Oh, before I get too far, because I just finished the Tatcha primer, yay me. Tatcha is out. I'm gonna bring in my Cover FX primer now. So that is also on my list here, but I haven't touched it this year yet. So I'm gonna bring this one in, gonna start working on that one. Set that here to the side. Could probably put that one away. Okay, so next I use my cream blush, and while I was using it out of this Becca one, I was mixing it together with the Becca highlight and the blush together. So it's kind of like 2 items on my panning bingo together, this one as well as that one. But I actually recently realized that it works well. Like I can push it into my concealer palette and use it from there. So that's what I've been doing, using it with a sponge because it goes through it just a little bit faster. But I think I'm going to use it that way from now on, just because my makeup like container, like organizer that I usually put my everyday makeup items in is starting to get really, really full. So that will be one way for me just to manage that a little bit better. And I think it'll just be more fun where I can like more regularly transfer cream blush in here and feel like I'm making progress rather than dipping into a large product and being like, where is the progress? I don't feel like I'm making progress. I do have a goal in one of my projects to hit pan on this cream blush, and I'm like, it's gonna take forever, but I feel like if I scrape it in here, then it will feel like, okay, I can do it. It's gonna take me, you know, a month to get through whatever's in here, and then, you know, just keep working at it. So I'm kind of like a small, like, I know I do better with small goals. All right, so cream blush is applied. That's kind of the update on that. And then from there, I have also been using my Franken bronzer. I just mixed 2 paint pots together to get the shade. It's a pretty warm shade, but it is this one here on my board, so nowhere near done yet. But again, using my sponge, it's pretty potent, so, but I kind of dig in there to get a little bit more product out, which is for better or for worse. I'm like, I want these things done, so I am going to use and abuse my, you know, application power to get at it. So this is underpainting essentially, so I'm not afraid of it being just a little bit more strong. But it's not like whatever I'm putting on top is super high coverage either, so I do have to still be careful. But I'm like, there is room for error, and that is okay. Ooh, the cream blush did not get blended out there, so let me do that. Okay. Now I will, and also I'll pop a little bit of this onto my eyelids as my eye base. Sometimes I do this with a sponge, sometimes I do this with my fingers. Okay, so still working on that one. I'm hoping I'll hit the glass bottom in the next month, like by the end of March. That would be really, really nice. All right, I'm actually just gonna lay the board down so I'm not too distracted by it. All right, from here, I will do concealer because it's still a cream product. I had it out earlier. Sometimes I don't know why. I'm like cream blush and then I like forget to do concealer, which makes no sense. Okay, I definitely need a little bit of extra concealer today in those spots where trying to figure out which side angle of the sponge I'm using. I cut up a big body sponge 4 ways, and now I'm just like, how do I use this thing? Which I like all the angles, but it's like it's like a little bit of extra decision making that I have to do, is how to manage that. So I'm mixing 2 of these colors together. I'm not gonna really show you in detail, but like top bottom ones here. Dab off just a little bit, and then I am going to smudge something over here. I don't think it's gonna be perfect because I can't see myself very well, but that also means I hope you can't see me very well either. And then a bit under the eyes. And then I will actually take my concealer brush. I've actually been really enjoying dipping back into my MAC Fix Plus powder. Is it Fix Plus? Studio Fix. As kind of like a pinpointed like foundation concealer type thing. So I've been using just like a fluffy concealer brush and going in the spots where I need it for sure. And then also a little bit under my eyes. And I also use it just to set my primer sometimes. It's either this one or my other face powder. Okay, so that's good. Let's go ahead and just set the whole face. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my DIY loose powder. I'm about halfway done right now with this mix, which isn't bad progress because it was like pretty overfilled when I first started. But yeah, the packaging is starting to fall apart. This will be the last iteration in here. I do have, I think, one more backup container, and then I might just purchase some more. Which I think to purchase like 3 of these is like 10 to 15 bucks, which is cheaper than buying new powders. So let's do that. Set the face first, and I might go over it again just a little bit after I'm done with my blush. Okay, so this is the next exciting one. This is my last application of MAC Warm Soul. This is all I've left. I don't know if you can even tell what is in here. It's like this little bit on the corner. I'm doing the scraping method at this point to like really just get all the product I need, because it's such a sheer formula that like scraping it is really the only way that I can get the amount of product I need, which is probably more than I would have picked up when it was like, you know, when it was like a full product. So I'm gonna be very gentle here. But I do my best to kind of get half of whatever I just scraped out onto the brush. And then apply to my cheeks. And then swirl the last of it. It is done. Oh man, that makes me so happy. Like, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all of it. There's like little bits here and there, but wow. And that is the last MAC Mineralized blush I am going to be working on for almost forever. I feel like I've gone through, it's actually the 3rd one that's been in my collection. First one I actually got for my wedding, and it was a different formula and it was better, I think. I actually lost it on my wedding day, unfortunately. So I got a used one, I think, and I used that one up. And then this is a new one that I brought brand new because I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna miss it. And honestly, I don't. The formula is not what it used to be, and the packaging is really annoying to open and stuff like that. I mean, I don't do my nails, but I feel like if someone did do their nails and was trying to use this up, it'd be tough. So let's add the sticker onto the board. And that one is this one down here. So another one checked off. I now have 2 in this row. So that one's still a progress. Okay. So from here, what's next? I'm always just like, what's next? I will be using my Franken bronzer. This is my first time like making a Franken bronzer. I always thought I would just because I have these containers, but it was recently where I was kind of in a situation where I needed to. So here I am. I now officially have a loose Franken bronzer in my collection. And I think the game changer for me lately with Frankening is adding blue eyeshadow to my mixes, because I have so many products that are so warm. So if I can really finally like mix in a blue pigment, it's actually been super helpful to get everything to the right tone. So I've actually done that multiple times between eyeshadows and this Franken bronzer, and I honestly love that technique. All right, so I think we are at the eyeshadow portion. Let's do it. So because that MAC blush is done, I am now going to be pulling in another blush from my project. That is this one right here. It is, I think it'll be pretty obvious, that middle one right there. And that one's huge. So I have a feeling I'm gonna Franken it pretty soon, but I just want to experience it for what it is for about a week. And then, yeah, I already know there's some hard pan in here. So I feel like Frankening this will be my best bet. I also don't really want to be working out of a large pan like this every day. So I think Frankening this will be better. But I think just to be able to show this alongside the eyeshadows I'm working on, that'd be great. As you can see, I have some dips, some pans, like there is stuff happening. So I think the first one to update you guys on is that I did actually finish this eyeshadow here. So I need to add that sticker onto this board. I have it in my backup board that I have near my makeup station. And I finished that on the 8th. So let's stick that one on together. And then while I'm at it, I have, let's see where my other empties are. That one empty and this one empty. Okay. So this is the pan that I was just talking about. So that one I've now replaced with a similar shade. It's still kind of golden, not part of the project, but still something I want to work on. So I just thought I'd roll it in. The next thing here, not the next thing, but something that I did skip over earlier was part of the loose, my recent loose powder Frankening. I did go ahead and scrape out whatever was left in here. I did like organically use up more of this. So I think it really was just around the rims, and I was starting to actually scrape as well, similar to how I did the blush, but this powder was so sheer, like, and it has kind of a luminance that I don't really want all over my face, and I think is better mixed in as a DIY loose powder. So I did scrape the rest out, put it in there. So according to my rules, the packaging is done. So this is out. So I went ahead and did that, I think on the same day. No, it was a few days prior. It was the 6th. So let me write that down, and we'll put that sticker on together as well. Yeah. 2, 6. Okay, that one's good. I think I just lost a pin somewhere. I'll need to be careful about that. And then, so from there, so now we have 2 in this row, which is very exciting. 2 in this diagonal, technically. Yeah, things are getting checked off. Okay, so now let's actually move into eyeshadow. So I have a really interesting technique now where I was honestly had a lot of fallout. So I was like, I was just tapping in the sink. And honestly, if you've ever cleaned eyeshadow off of a sink before, it's tough. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and like, you know, it's just getting annoying. And so I was like, why don't I just tap it into like an empty container I have and just see how much I build up. And this is only just over the past few weeks when I started it, but I already have this much, like, essentially fallout, right? Like product that I would otherwise have been just either in the sink, falling onto my face, you know, something like that. So I'm like, that's a lot of stuff in there. I think I'm gonna still count whatever is an empty pen and empty pan, but I think I'll definitely be putting that powder in something. I'll probably make a Franken shadow out of it, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and apply some eyeshadow. I'm gonna use, I've been mixing these 2 together. And then of course tapping it into my little container here. This is a little bulkier than usual. And just applying it all over. I am a little bit aggressive with my dips because I really, really want to see pan. So I think that's another reason why I just have so much like fallout. But this has been a good way for me to, well, one, remind myself, like, don't be like too rough on it. But also that I don't feel like I'm wasting it, right? I'm hoping I'm not just being tough on the pan because of wanting to pan, but I also I have a consequence that comes out of it now. So yeah, the corner eyeshadow here. I also have two shades that I mix for this. I'll show you in just a second because I'm just holding too many things in one hand right now. But I hit pan on two. Well, I finished one pan and then I hit pan on two things this month, which is very exciting. So this taupey one I hit pan on and it's growing every day, and then this one I kind of drill pan this one because I also use it in my eyebrows. So let me show you how I do that. This is one of those where it is too warm, so I actually mix it with this blue shade right here. So the blue shade is pretty crumbly too, so I have to be careful. Not too much, but I think just enough to like get used and just see some progress. So I'm basically dipping into 5 of the 6 shades that are in here right now. I do need to start working this in soon, but for now I'm still happy that I'm, you know, dipping into 5 shades a day and making progress on something. Okay, so I think that's it for that one. Okay, I don't think I ever finished my lips. I like did the lip liner, but I didn't do anything else. I actually finished up another lip balm this month. I finished one last month, but I finished up this one as well this month. It is now down to the plastic. That's just all plastic there. It was a very, very sheer shade. I can barely tell it's on there. Very, very sheer. But it's like starting to scrape the lips. And so I will dig the rest out as soon as I have space in my lip palette, which I don't right now. So, so I just started using my lip palette again. So actually, let me mark that off. I finished that on the 19th. So that was only a few days ago. So let's add that one. I think this is the last empty I have of the month. So we'll take a look at where the board is at in a minute. So that one is done. Let me go ahead and show you where the lip palette was at. You guys can see, like, that was kind of what the lip palette was when at the beginning of the year when I rolled it in, and then it honestly doesn't look that different. The main shade I'm working on during daytime is this one, so this corner is expanded, and then in the evening, because this is the sheerest one out of the mix here, I've been using that one at night just because I don't need a really pigmented shade at night. I think that's why this one was so nice for both day and night, because it was just so sheer it could work. And hopefully I can apply this without making a mess. I just use a paintbrush. This is a makeup only paintbrush for my lip palette. It's a little bit bigger than a normal lip brush, which is why I like it. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm working through that. So I'm hoping that I can at least see 2 pans within the next month or so. And then that way I can like push in like the remainder of this one, the remainder of the other balm that I had to. And I'm also thinking about, like, I did really actually enjoy my experience with the balms. So it's very possible where I actually like mix this into a balm and like make it into a bullet form. But either way, just getting use out of it. I think right now I'll just wait until I'm sick of using a palette again and then kind of figure out where it's going from there. So I'm going to use a bit of gloss. This is not in a project. I did not put any lip gloss into a project, but this one's almost done, just for some giggles. I don't think you can even tell just because it's like clear. And then anything else I'm missing? I think just like one more powder all over the face. Wow, I have stuff everywhere right now. So give me a minute just to clean up a bit, because I don't think I have any other updates, to be honest. Everything else on this board basically looks the same. Switching out the primer because I finished that live, switching out the blush because I finished that live, switching out the lip palette because I finished my other lip balm recently, kind of changing up the way I'm working through my cream blush, as I mentioned, putting into my concealer palette, and then, yeah, I think just putting on some face powder, and I think that'll finish up the look along with some setting spray. Oh, and mascara. Oh my goodness. I'm always forgetting mascara. Not always, but like in moments like this. Let me see here. So I do have eyelash curler. We'll see how my lashes do after just having set my face, because my Asian lashes will not not cooperate when they're wet. But I am about to switch out my mascara soon. I don't think I'll do it on camera with you guys today, but I'm a little nervous with the NYX mascara I chose just because it's quite a dry formula. So we'll see how long I actually like deal with that. I feel like I'm okay with the wet formula that like dries down, you know, and holds my curls. But if it's a dry formula off the bat, I feel like I'm just gonna get grossed out really fast. Okay, not too bad for having done most of this through a viewfinder. Nothing is like jarringly terrible, right? All right, so let's do one last look at the bingo board and see where we're at with things. So very excitingly, I have a row here, this diagonal that has 4 things marked off, and it's just this palette. I actually don't think I have that with me. Do I? Oh, I do. It is getting emptier and emptier, but it is going to be super dependent on kind of the loose powder situation. I might use this to mix in with that super pigmented powder blush that I just rolled in, so that might help a little bit. But I mean, powder blush takes forever too, so as soon as I'm done with the mix, like, yeah, a little bit more gone, but it's still continuing other things to get done. So I do think that this will still be the soonest one. Honestly, everything else has some progress on it. I have a little bit of progress on the eyeliner. I showed it just in my previous deck of painting video, so you can watch that if you want to see the update. The foundation, just every time I can get some into the mini bottle here, that's good progress, but otherwise I haven't done that yet this year, so I'm hoping to soon. I'm hoping that I will see the most movement probably in the lip palette. I mean, I am aiming to finish all 6 of these pans by the end of this project. And of course, like I said, it could be moving the product around, and that's okay. I think if I do like make any new balms in these like balms that I already finished up, I'm not going to count it towards the project. It'll be a huge win, of course. But sorry, something stuck in my throat. But yeah, I need to kind of make a decision around that, because if I'm going to be mixing other stuff into those, it'll make it to be weird. I think mainly I just want to see pans empty and then kind of go from there. Yeah, so things are moving, things are looking different, which is good. I would love to get progress on this month, of course. See something different about this blush probably through frankening, which will be okay. And then I'm hoping to see glass pan on that one as well. So hopefully next month, it probably won't be as exciting. I don't think I have any live empties like I did today. Like, that was really, really exciting, and I was doing my best to like not overuse, so that I would be able to get it done this update. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this update. Hopefully you are excited about my live empties as I was. Really bittersweet because those products both were, well, not super long with me, but there was special qualities about both of them, right, that I really enjoyed. And yeah, sad that they're gone, but at the same time, huge wins for my painting bingo and where it's going. Like, if I know it's only February, it's a tough call, and I feel like I don't really want to say this out loud, but I wonder if I could refresh the board, like if I get most of it done, I wonder if I can refresh the board like halfway through the year. Even if I don't do a full blackout and like finish the board, if I can get like 20 of those items done, I might just refresh the board just to like keep it exciting for the rest of the year, you know? And like kind of figure out, maybe I'll just work between the 2 boards depending on what I figure, you know, depending on what I finish up and stuff like that. So anyways, that's my update for today. Let me put this push pin away. I just found one with my toe. Don't keep an eye on the other one. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.